I meant like this that shit. All right, I'm done. All right.
The Retrospect co-host ReelVlogs.
What it do? What it is? It's your boy T.S The Solution, co-host.
And your boy LQ. What it do?
What's up, dog?
Man, what's going on?
Oh,
We made it.
man.
We made it. Episode 2.
Episode 2.
We back.
We're here.
And nigga, we made it.
How do you feel about the first one?
So I was watching back and I'm like, damn,
It was rough.
I have some stutter problems.
We got some hurdles to get to.
We got some hurdles to get
Without
through.
the struggle, ain't no hustle, man. You got to
That's
go
right.
through it to get to it.
Yeah.
Right. But at least we're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Made it to episode 2. We're not quitting. We're not giving up. We'll get there.
Never stop grinding.
Exactly. What's the next line?
I forgot.
Oh, there. Okay. While he thinks of the next line, we're gonna get into it, man. The conversation of today is that jump. Like we listen to a lot of inspirational speakers and whatnot, and they all tell us about this jump. Like, what does this jump look like? And we're all looking like, oh, I don't know what this is, whatever the case may be. So, Q, real quick, what did your jump look like? We're for everybody, we're in Local Legends Barbershop. This is Q's Barbershop, family-owned barbershop. Him and his lady are in here. He's cutting hair. The lady's doing the nails. You know what I mean? So this is his jump.
For y'all that don't know, new viewers, 1917, East Bragg, Spokane, Washington, where handcrafted precision meets excellence. Every time you look good, you feel great, you perform better.
Boom, boom, boom.
And that's what it is.
Yes,
So
sir, yes, sir.
That leap.
So that leap, you're talking about
Yeah, how'd it look for you? The leap.
the leap
Like from coming from whatever you're doing before to this.
to now. So what does
Yeah.
that look like? Okay, for me, what that looks like is a state of mind of being just really just lost. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? In a state of not knowing what I want to do and what I'm going to do, and not.
Well, I actually want to touch on that, like feeling lost.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that? Like just not knowing what you want to do with your life?
Just that, and just really just feeling like
Yeah, fulfilling.
me personally,
Yeah.
not being happy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Filling a void that needed to be void, or
Yeah.
filled a void that needed to be filled
Yeah.
inside. So to go back with the leap for me, like I said, just feeling lost, and it just went, and it comes from probably me being a little boy and my background. You know what I mean? Growing up impoverished, not really having the means to a lot of different things that people my age around me did. You know what I mean? The luxury to do and have certain different things. So going from that feeling, not having that growing up, to getting to the point like, okay, when I grow up, I don't want to have to go through this. I don't want to have to feel like this. And
Yeah.
thinking that if I could just attain the physical, like the money or whatever, that type of stuff, be able to pay my bills and live comfortably, that would be enough. Then getting to a point to where I got old enough now, got a job, making decent money, more money than what I was making. Not a lot, paycheck to paycheck, but my bills are paid now. But realizing that wasn't enough. Yeah, I wasn't struggling no more. I wasn't in those environments, you know what I mean, those ruthless environments anymore.
Yeah.
But still, it seemed like something still there's still a void inside. So growing up thinking, okay, all I need is just a job and just be able to pay my bills and get out these surroundings that I'm in is enough. And then, like I said, getting to that point and realizing that it's not enough. Going day to day to work because I have to, having to pay bills and doing things that I didn't love to do. You know what I mean? It's miserable, especially when you're young and you know that you got way more potential than that, and that, you know what I mean? Like I said, like
I think it's the fear of like the unknown, you know, like not knowing if you're actually going to be successful. Like I think that's one thing a lot of people struggle with, kind of like doing that leap. And you just have to have faith in yourself, right? I mean, you just gotta,
100%.
You just gotta
Yeah.
go for it.
I mean, and that's what I was gonna jump into. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like self-awareness and
You're good.
these guys, but self-awareness and self-esteem are two major factors I feel like anybody needs to go to the next level and reach a level of success, whatever that level of success is to the individual. Just for the simple fact, I mean, if you're not confident with yourself and you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect somebody else to believe in you? You know what I mean? And then if you're not self-aware, really knowing what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do, what you like doing, what you don't like doing. And the reason why that's so important is because once you could get through that process and figure out that process, it helps you find your most authentic self. And by you finding your most authentic self, it helps you, or it helps minimize the level of stress or what's the word I'm looking for? Stress or
Anxiety? I don't know.
that, but shit, I don't know. Pressure, all that, but resistance. That's what I'm looking for.
Resistance.
You finding you tapping into your most authentic self helps and limits the amount of resistance that you're gonna have to face doing whatever you pick doing, making.
Were your resistance in the form of excuses?
100% in fear, excuses and fear. You know what I mean? Like Carlos said, a ReelVlog said, just not knowing. You know what I mean? Not being self-aware. You know what I mean? Me not being self-aware, not knowing who I was, who my identity was, it didn't allow me to really tap into what truly made me happy. And when I say by what truly makes me happy, not what satisfies the public or the one next to me, you know what I mean? But really what truly makes me happy, that feeling inside, that satisfying feeling inside. You know what I mean? Versus just trying to, you know what I mean, live up to everybody else's expectations.
I think we can even connect the big leap with just finding yourself as well. Because I think it correlates really well with like finding yourself and doing that big jump. Because help me out, guys. I'm stuck.
So let's backtrack just a tad bit. So you were filling a void. So here you are. You're like comfortable in a sense. And you're like, I'm paying the bills. I'm doing this. I got a little bit of money now. Why am I not satisfied with myself? So then what happened?
I feel like you made a great point as far as being comfortable. You know what I mean? When you get too comfortable, you tend to get stagnant. And I think that's a lot of people's problem is they get too comfortable to the point they don't really realize how stagnant they are. They stop kind of growing because they stop being a student to the game or to whatever they're doing. You know what I mean? And that was a big problem for me because it was so easy and I was comfortable because it wasn't as bad as it was.
Right.
You know what I mean? It kind of was like, okay, well, I'm comfortable now and let me just stay here for a minute because I realized and understand and remember the feeling how it was to be so uncomfortable. You know what I mean? But then it just goes back to being self-aware then again too. Like what am I willing to do for whatever and what am I willing not to do for whatever?
So was there a particular moment in your comfortability where you took a look at your circumstances and was like, okay, I got to get more? And like, what was that?
Or what was that
100%.
point?
It was the point where I realized I figured out what I was willing to do, what I wasn't willing to do, what really made me happy, and what stuck out to me was I had a slave working mentality, and from a young boy, I always knew that I was a boss. You know what I mean? I knew that I can really, if I put my mind and action, my mind to it, and then the actions follow. I can create anything, whatever, you know what I mean? And by me not doing that and kind of cheating myself rather than treating myself, settling for less, which is building another man's dream, you know what I mean? I realized, man, this ain't it. This ain't it. What makes this man different from me? Why can't he live his reality or bring his dream, turn his dreams into reality and me not? And it was that moment.
What was your work environment when that moment came to you?
It was the work.
Like where were you working at? Because you're talking about building another man's dreams. You're just like,
okay,
you're at your 9 to 5, right? So
I was working in a potato plant. You know what I mean? Turning whole potatoes into French fries and tater tots and tater patties and
all that.
Anything you can make with a potato.
All that. You know what I mean? But the crazy thing about it
Did you wear a hairnet?
I had to, definitely. The crazy thing about it was though, it was like you get in these type of environments, and remind you it's union jobs, so they pay pretty swell starting off, and then you can build up a ladder. But the thing about that is you can only reach a certain point, so there's always a cap. You know what I mean? But the craziest thing that I seen from that experience was that me going in, me being 18, 19 years old, it was a lot of people who were way older than me, 60, 70, about to retire, talking about how they remember when they were my age coming into the situation like, oh, this is just temporary. I just want to do. I don't know what I want to do yet, so I'm just going to do this just so I can pay my bills and just continue with the system. You know what I mean? Follow a system. Why? Because that's what I know. That's what I was taught. Yeah. You know what I mean? You only know what you're shown.
Real quick. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
We get more Q.
Oh yeah.
People want more Q.
Oh yeah. Yes sir. He cued me in. But so that was like one of the most distasteful things. Yeah. That experience was like I said, these people are 60, 70, 80 years old, miserable, complaining about how they wasted the last 50, 60 years of their lives.
How were your friends reacting at the time with you like making this change to be a better you?
They didn't understand it. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, and honestly, I can't blame them because we all have our journeys, we all have our paths, and we all have our time of maturing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Some mature faster than others. Some realize things faster than others. Mm-hmm. So at the time, they didn't understand it, and I can't blame them because I was just at that point. I didn't fully understand it. I just knew like this wasn't it. This couldn't be it. So like trying to have a conversation like we're having right now, it just didn't register to a lot of my friends. And again, I mean, it's like the saying goes, you know what I mean? Who you surround yourself with is who you typically become. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And at that point, I was in the predicament I was in because of who part of my surroundings. You become a product of your environment. You know what I mean? But just to go back, I mean, fast forward back to, you know what I mean, working at the plant and seeing these people that were 3 times my age just pretty much depressed and just complaining and,
jeez,
man, it'll do something to your spirit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It'll do something to your spirit, and it just really made me just really stop me in my track and really just look around and really figure out myself again. You know what I mean?
Finding yourself.
Yeah. Finding myself. You know what I mean? Self-awareness. And again, what I'm willing to do, what I'm willing not to do. And being there for 30 years was what I was not willing to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I had to make that decision because it got to the point, at that point, I was already there for 2-3 years. Once you hit your 5-year mark, on average, most people that stay there 5 years or more on average end up staying there till
that's so crazy.
Until they retire, because 5-year mark is when you get you start getting your benefits and all that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Your 401ks and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. So it was, and I was already there for like 3 years, 2.5, 3 years. So I had to make a decision. Like, am I willing to sacrifice my dream to settle for the comfortability? Or am I willing to sacrifice my comfortability to reach my dreams?
The next level.
And I didn't even mention, you know what I mean? I was already a father. I already had 1 child. So that was more pressure. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Not only am I 18, 19 years old, I got a 2-year-old. You know what I mean? I'm a kid that had a kid. So that was more pressure of, do you want your kid? Because let's just be honest. Parents are role models to their kids, at least. Their kids are only going to grow up to do whatever they see the parents do because you're the most influential person in their life. So I didn't want my kids to have to go through the same system that I've been going through and family members been going through, generations been going through, because, you know what I mean? To expect something different doing the same thing is insanity. They've been doing what I was doing, and this is where I ended up, and you know what I mean, that's where they're still at. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I had to change it up if I expected my kids to grow up and try to do something different. You know what I mean? So that's really my mind frame and my mindset, and the reason why I even had to take the leap, and the reason why I did take the leap to even get to this point. Because, like I said, that self-awareness, it's certain things. You know what I mean? It ain't what you do; it's how you do it. You know what I mean? My whole thing is whatever I do, whatever I decide to do it, keep it true, and not compromise integrity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So, with all that being said, what did the jump look like? What was the jump?
The jump was, like I said, to do the same, to expect something different, doing the same things, insanity. I had to change up exactly what I was doing.
What'd you do?
So I quit my job.
You quit your job.
Not only did I quit my job, I moved away. I realized by me being self-aware, digging, taking time, quitting my job, separating myself from that. You know what I mean? I had time to go home and focus on myself and figure out what truly made me happy. And it just happened to be, it just happened to be a hobby of mine that I felt so passionate about that I was able, fortunately enough, to turn into a business and get paid and able to finance everything I'm doing and support my family off of, you know, which was the barbering thing. You know what I mean? So that's really what it is for me. I just had to stop everything, crazy in trouble, come quick. You know what I mean? And sum it all up. Pause. You know?
Stop everything, crazy trouble, come quick.
Pause.
So, so you opened up a place.
Yes.
How was all that?
Man, it was
Was it hell for you?
man, it was hell. It was hectic. It was scary.
Yeah.
But then that's another thing. It's like success. You only find success through the struggle. You know what I mean? It's only those moments and times that you're scared that forces you to tap into your greatest self. So hell yeah, it was scary. Hell yeah, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But how would I know what to do if I don't do it? You know what I mean? And the truth is in the pudding. Like, I could say who I am and what I want to be, but like I said, truth is in the pudding. Actions speak louder than words. You know what I mean? And that's what the world's going to judge you on, your works and the fruits from your labor. You know what I mean?
So you leaped.
So I leaped.
So you leaped.
So I leaped.
So there you have it. That was Q's jump. That's what it looked like. Mindset before
To
he
sum
jumped.
it all up, you know
That's
what
what
I mean?
it is. Yeah, in a nutshell. There's a lot more to
yeah,
it, but in a
in a
nutshell,
nutshell.
that's what Q's jump looked like. And look where we're at now. We're in here sitting
Together.
in his barber shop. This is his. This is his bad
And this
boy.
is just the beginning. Like,
And it's
no
just the
cap,
beginning.
no boastfulness, no pride involved, none of that, no cockiness.
Stay
It's
humble.
it's just real facts. You know what I mean? And like I said, a lot of that background I told you guys before from my early childhood is what keeps this fire burning still. That's why I say this is just the beginning, because there's a lot more that I want, and this ain't it. You know what I mean? This is just this is just a little piece of the puzzle.
Damn. That was
Facts.
awesome.
Facts.
So
That
real.
was awesome. Oh no.
Facts.
Real's got to. I know that's a tough to follow up, right? I mean, we're
That's
sitting
really
in
tough,
man's
man.
barbershop after all that, but you got to tell the people what was your mindset, what were you going through, and all that in order for you to make the jump. Then what did your jump look like?
Okay, so first off, I ain't shit, by the way. Like, I ain't nothing. Like, so, but the transition from being who I was before to who I am now, it's like I really tapped into like the higher greatness of myself, because I really saw I wanted to be this person in this world, and I wanted to change people's lives with the creativeness that I can create with my camera. But starting off, I mean, growing up, my dad owned he did carpet cleaning on the side. He did it as a side hustle, and every weekend I had to go and help him out, and I hated it. I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I want to stay home, play some video games, just
Yeah, this is
kick
bullshit.
back, you know. And like he would always like tell me, you gotta come help me. You expect me to do this all by myself, you know? I was like, damn. So you
Get
know,
your ass up, boy.
I guess he
you
did
know.
have me. You know what I mean? I did come from him.
So
You
I mean,
do got a
from
point.
that, so it's like that really pushed me to see the entrepreneurship. I mean, my mom's she has a daycare. She runs a daycare, so it's like my both parents are entrepreneurs, kind of in a sense, you know, because they both
for sure.
worked in the in the agriculture world, so they did all labor, like hard labor. I did that a few years, but I was like, yeah, I don't know how you guys did it for like 10 plus years and shit like that. When they came out, being a first generation, it's like a lot of pressure on you I mean, it's always like the pressure of
attaining the American dream.
going to
American
college,
dream,
you know, doing
So
all that.
you're the
being
second
successful.
generation?
I'm first.
He's the first.
Oh, you're the first generation.
Yeah, I'm first generation.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I mean, yeah. So I'm going to college now, but I'm going back to like the big leap. I think my big leap was when I transferred from running track to doing video, photo, like head on. Like this is what I'm about now. This is who I am. You know, because I mean, in the last video I talked about how I did vlogs and stuff like that, and yeah, and then I realized during track, I was like, man, so I ran track here at my college and stuff. And then I realized, yeah, I don't know if this is for me, like I said. And then just reached out to different photographers in town, trying to see how their craft was, how they did it and stuff like that. Reached out was very big to me. Yeah, I just try to really grow from that.
I had a question for you.
Yeah.
You said you was running track, and then you just decided to reach out to a couple of videographers and photographers and stuff, and try to see their work and get coached up on game or whatever.
Yeah.
Prior to you going to college and running track, was you pre-exposed to videography or camera work at all?
No, I was never.
So, I think, and I think this will help the viewers a lot. Like, how did you get to that point to even make the decision to be like, this is what I want, to reach out to those people?
Great question.
How did that go from running? Because you know what I mean, running
Yeah,
track
it's
and then
different.
videography,
It's
it's like,
different.
yeah, completely
I ran track for 8 years, so it's like that was my life, bro. It was my life. Like I was all about that. I was like, all right, this is what I need to do tomorrow. Like so there was sometimes, so this is crazy. When I look back, I'm like, how the fuck did I even do that shit? Retrospect. Thinking of retrospect. I would wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, winter time. There's snow on the ground. It's cold as fuck. I would go out there and run, bro. I was just like, I gotta grind, bro.
I don't even think that's healthy.
Bro,
good or what?
I don't know, bro. I was just like, I just gotta work.
Working out there,
I just gotta work.
hyperthermia,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Still gotta work.
I just wanted to work, bro. I wanted to be the best I could be, and that's how I am now is like videography and photography. I just want to be the best person as like me as a person, and then be the best videographer, best director.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you
I gotta
go.
change it
There
up.
you go.
I forgot. I'm changing myself.
He's in
from-
another leap transition
Yeah,
right now.
leap
So yeah, it's
transition right
all
now
good.
from
There's
being,
levels to the shit.
Yeah.
videographer to director.
Director, there we go.
Trying to up my game a little bit. Trying to be someone else. What was the question?
So Q was asking
Yeah.
about pre-exposed to being camera. Like, what got you into vlogging in the first place? Then, if that's the case, because that's when you first picked up a camera. We're assuming.
yeah.
You know,
yeah.
what got you this all of a sudden? Just
What got you off the track into?
I bought a GoPro.
Okay.
I bought a GoPro. That was the first. I really just did it because I just wanted to. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Fuck it.
okay.
I was just like, I can
gonna
make,
try it.
I can make really quick decisions in like split a second. I'll never look back. So like this is one of those things. Kind of just like
okay.
I was just like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's just go for it. And then I think
Compulsive buyer.
is it? Is that what it is?
Compulsive,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it is. Yeah.
Are you the type of dude to get to the cash register and you see some Reese's right there, like, oh, get some Reese's, oh, boom, bloop, and then pop it in right there? Like that's compulsive
Maybe.
buying.
Maybe.
I seen them a couple times myself. But we'll let you keep going.
Yeah, no,
so you bought the GoPro.
So I bought a GoPro, and then I was trying to combine track and camera work. So I was doing I would like make vlogs of me running or whatever. Some of them are not unreleased, so I've never ever released those. Those are still in my drive, just sitting there. But yeah, I started doing
He was
that.
trying to get some of that track clout. I see.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes. You was trying to cloud it out from the track.
Yeah.
Show everybody how fast you were.
Yo, yeah.
Trying to
Get the tape ready.
Like, this is who I am. I was like, yeah, I'm quick.
Yeah.
What's up?
Scholarship.
scholarships.
Yeah.
I feel you. Okay.
Trying to get recruited.
Yeah.
So that's where the whole video, just even you having interest in the camera came up.
Yeah.
Is you just trying to record your work, you putting in work.
There we
you
go.
shooting in the gym.
There we
Yeah.
You know
go.
what I mean? Okay.
There we
Okay.
go.
at first it was really hard, like at least for my parents, me doing this and like following this up. I mean, I still go to college, you know, I still go to college, still pursuing. So I don't want to feel like I disappointed them because I still want to feel like success in their vision.
We'll highlight that later. You know we're gonna get on about that.
What?
But yeah. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, yeah.
Episode 3.
I already forgot all this.
Oh yeah, to be continued.
The leap. So we're still
The
going
leap.
on the leap. Yeah, you got your GoPro, and then what's next? Okay, so from GoPro for track to what next? What happened after track? He was like, man, I'm not the track star I thought I was.
What solidified
you know what I mean?
you being the real vlogs you are today? What solidified? Like, cause it sounds like you're one of the special ones who kind of like picked up something and it just kind of worked for you. Like I'm in the same boat. I kind of just picked up the barbering and it worked, and I was able to turn it into something.
Yeah.
So like, what solidified that? Was it just the love for it? Like you just had so much fun.
I just had fun with it. I think just capturing moments and like moments you'll never be able to see unless it's recorded. So really that, and taking that and putting it to something that people can watch retrospect
and provide value to. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I think that's what it is. Just, I mean, like inspiring people from what I created and maybe get them to do the same. You know. So that's really what pushes me to keep going, you know.
Picture has 1,000 words. For real.
Man, yeah.
So the camera thing came up from applying video to what you already loved in track. From track, you was like, I think I'm gonna go the camera route a little bit more. So we dive deep into it. What made you buy the camera that you have today? I'm assuming that's your baby, right?
Yeah.
After the GoPro.
Yeah,
so after the GoPro.
So after the GoPro is another camera.
Okay. What made you do that?
What made me do that?
Yeah.
I wanted to up.
Because that was all in.
Yeah, I was all in. So I was like, you know what? Like, I want to upgrade. I want a better quality.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then I dropped that in a river.
Yeah.
So I was vlogging. And then
Yo, peeps.
I was on a bridge.
Hot.
I mean, for people that know me, they've seen that video because it's on my YouTube. But so I was vlogging or whatever, and then I wanted to get a shot of like my feet hanging off the bridge because I was some cool kid, you know. And then I didn't have my camera strap on. I was just trying to be cool, whatever. And it just plummets.
Damn.
Right into the water, the river. And so after that, I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to get another one.
There you go.
That's when I got this one.
There you go.
That I have right there.
Bam. So I seen in both of you guys' stories, you have times where it's an open door to quit. Like you can take that and in essence be like, you know what? That's not for me. Being a camera guy is not for me. You look in your life like, man, I got a kid, maybe I should, be comfortable. Your comfortability moment is like, man, maybe this is it. But you guys chose not to walk through those doors of quitting or being content. You went out and bought a camera. You was like, man, screw that. I'm gonna take a risk for my family, for myself, and I'm gonna quit this job. So there's that door. There's always that open door to quit.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So you guys made that choice, man. Like a lot of people need to see that because that's perspective. That's what we're here to talk about. Is perspective. You could have looked at that situation and be like, man, that's not for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe this is a sign that I shouldn't do it and never buy another camera again. You know what I'm saying?
I did think about it.
I bet. Yeah.
I was like, maybe this is not for me.
Yeah.
And I really thought about just stopping, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Another thing to point out too, and I think was a parallel in both of our stories, was that the love for what we was doing, I feel like helped push us the distance. Like, you know what I mean? When you're able to be self-aware and really tap into something that you really love, like that's how you know you really love it. When you could go through situations like you dropped the camera and ain't no telling how much money that was that just dropped in there, and then you made a split decision or a conscious decision to go do it again. You know what I mean? Not only that, I asked you earlier and you explained that you didn't really have too much you didn't have any prior knowledge about anything, and now you know what I mean?
Just gotta do it, bro.
You know
just
what I
gotta
mean?
go and do it.
But the point I'm trying to make is this is a lot. The camera is your equipment, and you know how to run all that.
Yeah.
You went from not having no knowledge to having knowledge. That love for it pushed you to gain the knowledge. self-teach yourself. You know what I mean? That was the same thing for me. I think that's a great point to point out is, you love something when you want to continue to grow and learn about it.
Even on the down times,
the
low times.
Yeah, the low times. I can't tell you how many times I was in a barbershop with nobody to cut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody knowing I'm here. Nobody knowing I'm a barber. Like, you got to remember, I moved here one day. I moved here to Spokane, Washington, strictly to go to barber school. I moved here one day before I started barber school. I didn't know nobody. You know what I mean? I went from not knowing anybody to being able to build a barbershop, not just renting out a station at a barbershop that already has walk-ins and already has their clientele that been established, but leaving that and building something from the ground up in a place that I don't know anything about or nobody knew nothing about me.
Did you ever do
what I mean?
station things like that? Where you went to a place establishment already?
Oh yeah, definitely. And the reason why I did that was just, it went back to, I needed to continue to be a student of the game. I knew that I didn't know everything, and again, like, you got to be realistic too. You know what I mean? You got to be ideal too. Like, it goes back to you being self-aware. Some things you can say what you want to do or who you are and what you can do, but you know what I mean? Some things you just can't do. Like, I could say I'm an NBA basketball player or an NFL player. I can say that all I want, but I know I don't have the physical ability or the skill set to perform and do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was the big deal too.
Yeah.
Is, you know what I mean, that self-awareness, just knowing that whatever you decide is realistic and it can be done. You know what I mean? The way that you envision it to be done. You know what I mean? So
That's crazy. There's levels to it.
But yeah, it's different levels to it. So y'all heard my side of the story, or a little bit of background. You heard ReelVlogs, a little bit of background. We ain't heard about TS though.
Oh,
So
yeah.
where was the point
T.S.
in your life? T1.S. What was the point in your life that switched off, switched on to make that lead?
Damn, I'm trying to think of what
This
there's
is
so
a
many
good question.
leaps.
It's a good question. I really like this question a lot.
So many leaps. Because I feel like we're going off of the first leaps and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
my first leap was to like take music seriously.
They're all important.
You know what I mean?
They're
They're
all
definitely
important.
all important. I mean, there's, like you said, there's levels to it. The first leap was to take music seriously. A lot of artists think they take it seriously. I don't know if they do yet or not, but that's what it looks like to me. So I had just finished Job Corps, and I was like 17, maybe 17, 18. And then that was a year of like construction training. You know what I'm saying? So I did that for a year, got out of Job Corps, went back out west, Tacoma, Covington area, worked at Walmart, I think for some months, moved to Moses Lake, worked at a factory, was trash. I moved back home, and what I do back home? That's when I enrolled in school, audio engineering. So one thing that my mom always taught me about music is there's more than one ways in a room to get in a room. So the more you know, the more opportunities.
100%.
So that's when I enrolled in Bates Community College out there in Tacoma, and I did that for a little bit. But at the same time, when I was doing that, I had set up a little recording studio in Renton with my homeboy Caleb, and we were recording in his mom's backyard. They had like a little shed, but it was a big shed. Like they were living in there pretty much. And I was pretty much living in there. So we set up a recording studio. I got a part-time job working at a thrift store. And that's where I got all my clothes. Shout out St. Vincent de Paul.
Shout out St.
you know,
Vincent de Paul. Chill.
You know, I got all my clothes there, so I was cool on clothes and whatnot. But we were in the studio. We were just recording, and just not knowing what to do with this stuff, and just like, what are we doing? We're just recording. We're just sitting here recording. Now what?
Well, I think social media really opened that up for artists, right?
I mean, yes and no. It gave them somewhere to put their music.
Yeah,
if
give
you're
them a
not
platform.
the hustler type to go out there with CDs and sell them out of your trunk. If you're
Guerrilla
a kid,
marketing.
you know what I mean? If you're a kid, then yeah, you can upload it from there. And when we did that, I mean, I did that. I was uploading on MySpace. when a kid.
I don't remember the MySpace.
Yeah, I was like, that's when
MySpace
we were
got me in a lot of trouble.
We were trying to all be so hard on MySpace, you know. So yeah, I was doing that, but even before that, it was like, cool. How do we do shows? We got to get some shows going. I met up with a couple homies, and yeah, so it was just really like that leap. All that is, hey, I don't have nothing. Like I was damn near living with Calum in the back of his shed, like for a minute, because I just wanted to record. I was still in school at the same time I wasn't, because I was missing like a lot of days because I just wanted to record. So it was like, what am I gonna do with all this music that we got? So the first person I took it to when I decided to take stuff seriously was like my mom. And Moms was my manager for a little bit. You know? Like, not a lot of people
your mom
know
was
this.
for it.
My mom, yeah, oh yeah.
Mom
like,
Dukes with the shits.
Oh,
shout
yeah.
out Mom Dukes.
Yeah, shout out Moms, man. Like she's been with it from the jump. So she was my manager for a little bit. And while my mom was my manager, we were doing shows at bars. Like I'm not even 21 yet, so we was in the bars. Crazy. We had to sit in like this little section and whatnot. You know, we wasn't old enough, so we couldn't be at the bar, but. We were doing shows at bars, man. We were doing shows at birthday parties. We were doing shows at any kind of parties there was. All the jump really was for me is I have nothing to lose. Like that was my mindset at that jump. It's like I have nothing to lose and this is what I want to do. I'm already doing it. Why not take it seriously? Like I've been rapping since 12. You know what I'm saying? So like I can spit bars here and there, just having the third, but getting serious about it. Like I want to do shows, I want to release music, I want singles, I want to tour, I want to do all this stuff. It was really, what do I have to lose?
So it sounds like you're kind of in the same boat as me in ReelVlogs. Like you kind of was already doing something that you was one of the lucky ones, one of the lucky fews that you was just doing something and that kind of just
clicked,
just clicked and made sense, and you fell in love with from the jump early on.
Right. And my whole thing was, yo, this is not just what I want to do. Just because I can record is cool, but we got to be able to make this stuff sound good. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I picked up on the audio engineering. I want to learn how to mix. Like how does microphone placement work? How do different microphones work? What's the difference between this microphone and that, or this cable, electronics and mixers and gain staging, all this stuff, all this chain was to just get in the room. I want to put out music.
So what was that feeling that you, and this is just for the viewers, because I want to make a point after you make this answer the question. What was the feeling that you got from doing music and wanting to learn more and getting into engineering that made you want to get into the engineering program and make this stuff want to sound good? Like, what type of feeling did that give you? Was it a feeling or was it a reaction from the ones around you in the crowd?
Nah, bro, like, to be honest, it was nobody else mattered. Like, at that moment, nobody else mattered. I felt like I was addicted. Like, I want to be in the studio. Like, that's
like a high.
So that was your drug.
That's exactly what it is. That was my drug. It was like, I don't understand how people don't want this as bad as I want this. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go get it and I'm gonna show you how to do it. So it was like, it was addictive, bro. I wanted to mix. I wanted to get my hands on different mic. I wanted to talk about this stuff. This is all I wanted to do. If I wasn't in the studio, then I was on stage. Like our first show was at Hooters. It was at Hooters in Seattle.
I remember that.
Yeah, our first show was at Hooters in Seattle.
Damn.
And it was like a bike wash too. So it was girls in bikinis there. So nobody's paying attention to us. You know what I'm saying? But I was on stage and I had a microphone in my hand. That's all that mattered.
That's all that mattered.
That's it. That was my high.
Man, that's super dope. The reason why I was asking that question because I want people to realize, and I mean, we're here to get different perspective. I want people to understand and realize that success is not based upon the expectations of others.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Or comparing your lives with others. Mm-hmm. I just want people to understand that, because I feel like today's society, a lot of people do that, and a lot of people get caught up and get depressed and get down on themselves because they don't got what the next man has,
right?
Or they don't,
because we can see what the next man or what the next man shows us,
or their life. Or the next man's life looks more appealing than theirs. Right. So I just want to tell people, man, success is not doing those things. Success is really just trying to find that feeling that makes that feeling inside that puts a smile on the outside and just continue repeating that. I mean, what just makes you happy. Forget what another man thinks.
Yes.
So, I mean, whether that's flip and again, we all have a relationship and we're all doing this podcast because we got the same state of mind. You know what I mean? We kind of like it just happened to work out that we want to be entrepreneurs. We're all our own bosses, and that's what we're chasing and trying to do. But even if your dream and flipping burgers make you happy, who am I to tell you that's not the right way?
Or that's unsuccessful. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, we all have our own paths. We all have our own destiny.
100%.
We all have our own journeys.
I'm glad you
know
brought
what I
that
mean? Like that, I don't want people to think like, oh, I got to go out here and do it the way that they're doing it because they're saying that's the way you do it to be successful. That's actually the opposite of what we're saying. Mm-hmm. What we're saying is follow that feeling that you get that makes you smile and continue that for yourself in your life.
That's
you
good.
know what I mean?
That's good.
So I definitely needed to point that out for you guys. You know what I mean? 100%.
And it's just trying stuff.
Man.
That's all it is. You just try it.
Trial and error.
Like you got a GoPro. Like screw it. Like fuck it, I'm gonna get a GoPro.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. Yeah.
Like why not?
Just gotta try everything. Gotta try everything and then pick what you want to do out of everything that you've done. And if you still haven't found it, keep doing other things. Yeah. Keep going.
And another thing too is like you might find something that makes you feel good and satisfies you for right then and there. Doesn't mean that has to be the thing that satisfies you for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Because like I said, there's levels to this shit. There's maturity levels. There's all types of levels. So you might grow. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you might be another place in your life where what you was doing 5-10 years ago ain't satisfying that, you know what I mean? That hunger.
It changes.
And you got to switch it up, you know what I mean? You got to do something else, you know what I mean? Because you was called to do something else. So we ain't saying that you got to find one thing and stick with that forever. No. What we're saying is find that feeling and then continue that feeling.
Right.
That feeling might come in different types of shapes and forms. You know what I mean?
And then on that, so we gave our perspective on that. You're saying find that feeling. What is somebody going to take away from this to find that feeling? Give them something practical. What does finding that feeling look like to you two?
Finding that feeling.
Would you like to try to tackle that first? And then
I got something for it.
Let's hear what you say.
I mean, we already said it. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
What are we doing this podcast? Like, we don't know if this is gonna work. We don't know if anybody's watching. You know what I mean?
This is just an idea.
How do we find that feeling? We did it. Like that's it. All it popped in your brain. Like just do it. Like straight up. Okay, so check this out. Let's see if this ties in. I got home last night, right? Like man, the garbage got to go out. The dishes got to go out. I mean, it doesn't have to. I can just let it stack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. As
a man, as a father, and I want a clean effing house, I'm gonna do it, right? So I got to do it. That's it. Once I did it and it was done, felt freaking amazing about it. My house ain't as stinky as it was anymore. I get mopped now, all this other things. But in order to get what I wanted, I had to just do it. Like that's just do it. You know what I mean?
Nike, just do it.
Just do it.
I'm glad you said that because I know at least, and I can only speak for myself. You know what I mean?
Damn right
damn right you can. Mother. But in my life, I noticed that when I procrastinate or when I start to think too much about one thing, I start to procrastinate. I start to talk myself into it. Sometimes, you know what I mean, we just overthink things and make things way harder than they need to be or what they actually are. So like T.S said, man, sometimes like the only way you're gonna get there and find that feeling we're talking about is just doing things. You know what I mean? Just doing them until you receive that feeling. You know what I mean?
And once you find it, you gotta stay dedicated.
And you gotta stay dedicated to those things that do that. But you can only do that by doing it, not thinking about it, not talking about it, but action. You know what I mean? You can plot and think all you want, but if you don't execute, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Do
the
it
graveyard's filled with geniuses.
Yeah, do it today, not tomorrow. That's one thing.
Facts.
That was game. I think there's a lot of value.
Facts.
Yeah, there's
I think
a lot
so.
of value in there, man.
There's a lot of problem solving in there because I know a lot of people that want to do stuff, but they just don't, or they man, I'm unsatisfied with my life. What do I do? It's like literally write down on a piece of paper 10 things that you want to do. That's it.
It's key.
Start there.
Visualize it.
Exactly.
You got to write it down
Start
and visualize
there.
it to program yourself.
Start there. Let's just start there. And another thing is, too, while we're saying all this to you guys, realize that we are all still in the early stages.
All this that we're talking about, we doing.
We're in the process of doing it with you. This is nothing
Facts.
like, oh, they've done this 10 years ago when it was different times. No, we're still doing stuff that we're talking about. We practice what we preach here. You know what I mean? Are we
Facts.
perfect at it? Absolutely
Facts.
not. Are we still trying to appetize ourselves, or, you know, we're hungry, so we want to do more? Like, you're a barber with a podcast. Like, what kind of stuff is that? Absolutely. We're here to satisfy our hunger, to satisfy our appetites. Let's do it. We want to do it. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to be a director. What are you doing on a podcast? Because I want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to satisfy this hunger. You know what I mean? So we really, really want you guys to go out there and just do it. Nike.
Just do it, Nike. Yeah.
We need a sponsorship.
Keep it true. Keep it real.
Facts. Nike.
Yeah.
Come fuck with us.
So,
Oh man, that was great.
I
Dude.
think that was amazing. Is there
game.
any parting words you got for the people before we take this off and call it quits for episode 2?
Leave it on one note. To live a 1% life, you have to do 1% things.
You heard the man. Okay.
Facts.
You?
I'm just say it like this, man. A lot of people give a lot of advice to whomever. For myself, I try to say what I know and not speak on what I don't know. But the advice that I give out or what I speak about is solely on my experiences. You know what I mean? So what I'm gonna leave y'all with is, don't take my word for it, and don't think that everything I'm saying is for you. Take what fits. Take what works. Take what you can use and use that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because, and the reason why I say that is because, like I said, my life is different from yours. My situation is different from yours. The way my lifestyle, the way I want my life to be, and what I'm willing to do and not do is different from yours. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing. Don't look at me and be like, okay, because he did it this way, he said do it like that way, oh, that's going to work.
Their journey is going to be different than yours.
Journey, you know what I mean? And the way you do things got to be custom to you. It's like when I do haircuts, when I'm in here cutting haircuts, I might do a ball fade, 10 ball fades in a day, 20 ball fades in a day. But every haircut, just because it's a ball fade, it's on a different canvas, which means it has to be tailored and customized to that canvas. You know what I mean? You got to customize your journey and what you do to yourself. You know what I mean? And I'm going to leave it on that note.
Man, goodness
Facts.
gracious.
Man,
Golly
great.
gee willikers. All right, here's the note I'm going to leave it off on. Tunnel vision. It may take that man 5 years. It may take you 10 years. But a lot of the people that I follow, they tell me the same thing. Keep going. There's no time limit. This is a marathon, not a sprint. If you try something and it doesn't work for the first hour, guess what? Give it another hour for the next day. Keep going. Let that hunger keep you awake at night. I'm telling you, I want you guys not to just dip your toes in. I want you to dive in.
Waist
Head
deep.
first.
Dive.
All right? And on that note, we are gone. LQ, the barber, let them know.
LQ, the barber, local legends, barbershop. If you need to look fly as you can be, you know, to reach a level of success, you got to look like that person. You know what I mean? To find your greatest self, you got to act and look like that person. So the only way to get that is to come here, the local legends, 1917 East Rag, where handcrafted precision meets excellence every time. Yeah. Look good.
Bam.
Feel great.
This is the Retrospect signing out.
Peace.